Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Finance edition of Wealth Coffee Chat. Why do mortgage brokers hate roller coasters? Too many ups and downs reminds them of the market. As I spoke about previously, where rates are still set to be held up until Christmas, NAB have come out this week and said that rates will probably be on hold until May 2026. Not great news, as we all know cost of living and rent are challenging at the moment. Like I spoke about servicing last week, even though rates have been coming down, the adjustment to living expenses has not had this desired impact in terms of being able to borrow more money. Well, we've actually had some good news this week. We've heard that a lender has actually come out and reintroducing the 100% plus home loan. So there's a lender that is currently doing 105% home loans. Takes me back quite some time. I've been in this industry for over 20 years. So back in the early days when we did have loans that were over 100%, and then ASIC came in and decided to change the rules for that. But there is a lender that is actually reintroducing the 100% loan back into the market. I do hope that more lenders are going to jump on board, but it's great news. As I said before, cost of living and rent are some big challenges at the moment because it's stopping people from being able to save for a deposit. And it could take years and years. It could take years and years for people to actually save enough, even if we're talking about a 5 or a 10% deposit. It could take families years. So the 100% home loan is an opportunity for everybody to get into the market. Now, if you're in a situation where you've got really strong borrowing power, you've been able to navigate, the cost of living and continue to pay the ever increasing rent. Great for investments, not so great for owner occupied. This product is going to be great because now you could get into the market, use the money that you would have normally paid for rent to start paying for your home, for your home loan. Now, the rates on these loans are going to be, quite high compared to the current rate at the moment. Morning, Sharon. Thanks for joining. Yeah, absolutely. Back when clients never had to put anything down and they could get into their first home. Yeah, those were great times and great opportunities for everybody to get into the market. What I was saying about the 100% home loans is that there is a higher cost to it. But if you were to offset that cost against how long it actually takes for you to be able to save the deposit to get into a property, the amount of, and most likely you would have to have LMI included. Now, there are some great federal government incentives that are going to help people get into property from as little as a 2% deposit up to like a 5% deposit. The government can also own part of your property, which means the loan that you take out is a lot lower. So there are several schemes that are available besides this 100% home loan for you to get back into the market or get into the market for the first time. But you have to be very conscious of is your cash flow. And you have to sit down with your broker and make sure that you have a long-term strategy for this. Because you don't want to get into this facility at the higher rate and sit there for too long. Because obviously it means that you're paying a lot more interest on the loan. What I mean about a strategy is what your immediate goal after getting into this loan is, how do I get from this 100 or 105% loan down to 80%? Now, 80% is the mark where it gives you the opportunity to go out and refinance without any additional costs. Now, any loans over 80% incurs mortgage insurance. And there is a possibility where you could go to 90%, move to another lender that's going to give you a cheaper rate, and that will be more beneficial than and paying the mortgage insurance, and that will be more beneficial than staying in the current loan. But you have to have those goals. What is my next step? And how do I get out of the existing loan? Because the 100% home loan is just a stepping stone. All right? It's not the loan that you actually have for the full 30 years. It's a stepping stone to get into the market. It's a way for you to not have to wait and not have to have a savings plan. And we obviously talk about property, and over the last decade or so, property prices really haven't dropped. So the longer you take to get into the market, the more it is actually going to cost. So the cost of not being able to get into the market compared to the cost of a higher interest rate, I would definitely take the higher interest rate over waiting any day of the week. But in saying that, let's work out how we can move from this particular product to your next one. And potentially it could be 2 or 3 refinances over, let's just say, a 5-year period to get from the current 100% loan to a standard major bank loan, let's say. But now you've owned property and you are going to get to the point where you're going to be able to access lower interest rates. Now, obviously, some other things to consider is that should values of the property decrease, it becomes the road to 80% becomes a lot. Will take a little bit longer. If you get into financial hardship and the property needs to be sold, and the value of property has dropped, then when the banks sell your property, there is still a difference that you will owe the bank, and that the banks can still chase you up for that. But again, like I mentioned earlier, this loan is actually designed for people who have the borrowing power but actually don't have the savings. And it would take years before they would get the savings, then get enough savings they need to be able to get into the property. So if you're in that position, reach out to your brokers and have a chat with them. Now, the other thing that the other product that I actually found about, it was only yesterday, was with a funder who would help you build your first home. Or if you also wanted to purchase an investment property, designed specifically for house and land packages, and you have to work with specific builders. The reason why specific builders is that the funder helps ensure that the builders get audited to make sure that they're not going to go bust and they're going to be able to complete constructions of the building within 12 months. What's great about this product is that the assessment rates they use enables clients to be able to borrow more. There is no cost during the construction phase. So while you're paying rent, you don't have to pay a mortgage, or while the property is not being rented, if it's an investment, you don't have to actually pay a mortgage. And they give you that for 12 months. And then they capitalize that interest into the loan. And then you pay that loan over the remaining 29 years. So here's another product. And if you're looking for a new property, it is a great way to get in with a much lower deposit and a way to help manage your cash flow during the construction period. Because, especially when you're renting and then you have to pay a mortgage for the land and then a mortgage for each of the construction phases, it becomes quite expensive and you haven't even moved into the property yet. So this is a great facility this is a great product for you to be able to look at, building your own home, building your dream home, but not having it weigh down your cash flow during the construction period. So some great products that are coming out. I'm excited because this could be a sign of more of these type of products coming out to the market and helping people be able to get into property a lot sooner. But you have to ensure that these products are your stepping stone. And you work out a strategy with your brokers to go, okay, if I'm getting in here, how long is it going to take me to refinance? What is my next refinancing step? Is it 90% plus LMI, or is it an 80% going to a major lender? And that could be a 2 or 3 year process. But you need to know that and put those plans in place. Now, I just wanted, sorry, before I finish off, I just wanted to share some stats around brokers. And for those who aren't using brokers, why not? Because these stats are pretty impressive. At this current stage, brokers facilitate 77% of all loans written in Australia. 99% of brokers have secured a discount for their borrowers. 92% of brokers have helped clients refinance for the first time. And 97% of brokers have clients who return year after year. Now, I don't say that to bag the banks, but especially when it comes to what I was talking about before, strategy, you need to have a conversation with a broker. Because when you're taking out loans, it's not just about the loan that facilitates the purchase, but you want to know about what loans are going to come later on so that you could put in a plan to get to those loans. Because ideally, in an ideal world, we'd love to go with the lower, the top tier banks which have lower interest rates, and some facilities there that are going to help us pay off our home loan faster. So if you haven't spoken to a broker or you're not speaking to a broker and you've got loans, reach out to a broker or reach out to myself or my team. We'll definitely have a chat with you about some of the lending strategies to get you to pay off your home loan faster. Have a wonderful Friday, everybody. Thanks for joining me today, and enjoy your weekend. And I will see you all next week.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.